What is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Friday, August 12th slate of MLB action. It is going to be payday, so I'm super excited to dive into it. But before we did, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. You guys have been showing a ton of support here recently. I am trying to hit that 7,000 mark by the time that the NBA season does begin. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, way more than you guys will ever know. So thank you guys for everything that you guys do. So without any further ado, as much as I would love to just not even think about yesterday, we are going to go ahead and do a quick recap. It was very unfortunate, but we're getting right today. I know we are. That yesterday was a really tough beat in so many different ways, so let's go ahead and talk about it just a little bit. So we did have the White Sox and the Royals under 8 runs at -115. This was the most annoying bet I think that I've had in a very long time. There was almost no runs through the first 5 innings. Then it got all the way up to 7 runs in the going into the 9th inning. So they gave up a total of like 6 or 7 runs in the like the 7th inning, like the 6th and 7th inning, and some of the 8th inning. They gave up a total of like 6 or 7 runs. So at this point they're sitting at 7. Then at the top of the 9th, with the Royals winning at home, so they obviously didn't play the second half of the 9th. With 1 out, the White Sox ended up hitting a solo shot, so it ended up being a push. It was the most annoying thing in the entire world because not only did Zach Greinke pitch really well, Dylan Cease actually pitched pretty well too. Both the starting pitchers did their jobs. They did really good. Then the bullpens got in there and they just absolutely blew it. It was like they were just like, yeah, here, you want a home run? Sure, let me toss one up to you. So, you know, it was very unfortunate for that one. Then we had the Field of Dreams game. We had the NRFI in that one. The Cubs decided to come out hot. They ended up scoring 3 runs in the first inning. Really nothing you can do about that. And if you looked at the board, there was 8 games on the board. 6 NRFIs hit. So literally, if I pick any other game, it's pretty much going to hit. It was very unfortunate. I mean, literally, what are the odds that I pick one of the only 8 NRFIs to hit? Like, that's absolutely insane. Then we did have the Orioles money line. They got down early. They were down 3-0. They battled back, tied the game, and then Boston took a 1-run lead, and they just held them off for the rest of the game. So a really rough day. We had an 0-2-1 day, but I do think we bounced back today. I don't think we can get any worse than yesterday. We had so many bad beats in so many different ways. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Our first play of the day, we're going to be taking the Guardians run line here versus Toronto at -135 odds. Now, you may be able to get odds a little bit better on this one in other sports books. I'm currently on DraftKings. I haven't really looked around to see what the best odds are. It's just as of right now, that was the book that I was using to try to find these plays. But Cleveland, they are 32-28 to the run line on the road this year, so they are a pretty solid road run line team. So I think it's a really good spot to target for them. Toronto, on the flip side of things, not the best home run line team. They're just 23-32, so they're about 9 games below 500 when it comes to the home run line. So I think that's a really good spot to fade as well. Cleveland is also currently the hotter team out of the two by quite a large margin. Cleveland's currently on a 5-game winning streak, and they are 23-14 to the run line as a road underdog this year. So they have been really good as a road dog, and I don't think that changes any at all today. Also, Toronto, they are on a 5-game losing streak at the time of recording this video, and they are 20-31 to the run line as a home favorite this year. So, anytime that they are favored and they are at home, a lot of times they do end up losing that one, and they don't really cover very often. So, I think that's another really good spot to target. Now, if you take a look at the pitching matchup, we have Cal Quantrill on the mound here for the Cleveland Guardians. He does have a 3.88 ERA over the course of the season, so definitely nothing too crazy. Does have a 3.49 ERA over the last 5 games, so he has been a little bit better over these last 5 games, so hopefully he can keep trending in that right direction. Also, the Guardians, in Quantrill's last 5 starts, they have won all 5 of them, so he is currently on a little bit of a 5-game win streak. with the when he is starting in those games. So hopefully he can carry that over for us, make it 6. That would be an absolute no sweat bet, and I would love to see that. Also, Jose Barrios is going to be on the mound here for Toronto. Definitely hasn't been great. He has a 5.19 ERA over the course of the season and an 11.57 through just 4 innings versus Cleveland. So he has been really, really poor here versus Cleveland. So hopefully he can be poor for us once again. Also, whenever it does come down to the bullpens, Cleveland has a huge advantage. Cleveland is 8th when it comes to bullpen ERA. Toronto's 17th. So that's a pretty big advantage there. So I really do like the Guardians in this one. So we're going to be riding with it. Guardians run line here versus Toronto at -135 odds. Now for our second play of the day, we're going to be taking the Dodgers and the Royals over 9 runs at -110 odds. Now if you take a look at it, the Dodgers, they're obviously the best run scoring team in the entire MLB. They're first when it comes to runs per game. And Kansas City, they're not so much the best run scoring team. They are just 24th in the entire MLB when it comes to runs per game. That does go up a little bit when they're at home. It does jump up to 22nd, so it's a little bit better at home. Definitely nothing too crazy. But if you look at it, Dodgers, they've been really, really good. No shocker there. But if you look at their recent game logs, they have scored 8, 10, 4, 8, 8, and 5 runs. So they've been really, really solid here over their last 6 games. But the thing is, the Royals have actually been surprisingly good on the offensive side of the ball as well. They have scored at least 4 runs in 7 of their last 8 games. And I think if they can get to 4 versus the stacked Dodgers team, I think the Dodgers can take care of the rest. I truly do. I don't think it'll be any bit of a sweat. But also in one of those games, the Royals actually scored 13 runs. So they have been really, really hot here recently. Hopefully they can continue that streak. Also, 2 pitchers that I think can potentially be hittable. Daniel Lynch is going to be on the mound here for Kansas City. Does have a 4.79 ERA over the course of the season, a 5.97 ERA at home this year, so he is a little bit worse at home. And if you look at his last 3 starts, he does have earned run log of 4, 0, and 3 earned runs. So I think he's definitely hittable. Those offenses that they were playing in those 3 starts definitely weren't anything great either. So this is going to be a much better offense that he is going to be pitching against. And Tony Gonsolin's going to be on the mound here for the Dodgers. Does have a 2.3 ERA. I know that would most of the time would scare me off. But in his last 5 games, he hasn't necessarily been as great. He does have a 6.14 ERA in his last 5 starts with earned run log of 0, 3, 4, and 5. So if the Royals can get right around that 4-ish mark, I do think that we have a really good chance at cashing this bet. Now, I will say once we do get to the bullpens, I don't think that the Royals are going to be able to score any once the bullpen does come in. The Dodgers do have a really good bullpen, but Kansas City, they have the 3rd worst bullpen ERA in the entire MLB. So hopefully, Dodgers just go absolutely crazy, score 10 runs, we don't even have to worry about it. But that's going to be our second play of the day, Dodgers and Royals over 9 runs at -110 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we're going to be taking the Padres and the Nationals, no run first inning at -105 odds. Now if you take a look at it, the Padres, they are 21st when it comes to first inning runs per game. Nationals are 13th. So Nationals have been pretty decent when it comes to first inning runs per game. Padres in that bottom 10. But I do think this is a pretty solid spot for them. Nationals, they do actually average 0.04 fewer at home. So they do average fewer runs in the first inning at home this year. So I think that's a really good spot to target. Also, Mike Clevenger is going to be on the mound here for San Diego. Does have a 3.6 ERA over the course of the season. So nothing too crazy, but he does have 8 straight NRFIs. He has pitched 8 straight NRFIs in his last 8 starts, so he has been really solid. And if you look at his last 4 starts, just in general, he has an earned run log of 5, 1, 2, and 1. So despite that 5 game, he's been really, really solid here. So hopefully he can be for us once again. And Corey Abbott is going to be on the mound here for the Nationals. Does have a 1.00 ERA at home this year. And he has only pitched 5 starts so far this year, but he's actually gotten the NRFI in 4 of them. So I think that's a really good spot to target. So we're going to be riding with it. Padres and the Nationals, no run first inning at -105 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Sanders signing out. Peace.